control wages where there's no maximum wage, but there's a minimum wage. When I was at Air Jamaica, we looked at the government and told the government to sell us Air Jamaica. We, the staff, sell us Air Jamaica. They didn't do it. They went and sell boots to at Air Jamaica for $1.
So basically what we are seeing in the media now with Mark Golding being a dual citizen both for UK and Jamaica, having two passports. What's your thought on it?
Well, the first thing me have to say, you know, you can't serve two masters faithfully. You have a bias against one somewhere along the line. Even though the Constitution itself give him the right to do it. But it's not all the while you get rights out of this thing, because the Constitution has been constructed in a way that it going to prefer the English, the colonial thought. Now, me I say, loyalty, you can loyal to one master at a time, one master. So when you look at the Constitution, even though it allows him as a Commonwealth citizen to have two passports and stay in Parliament, my personal opinion is that you can't serve two masters faithfully, so you have to give up one if you want to remain within our Constitution. And this is the next thing. They procrastinate too much. This should have been carried to Parliament long time, and they amend it that it reflects, listen, one country you can be faithful to. Because basically what you are doing, you're going to renounce one country, you know. You understand? You're going to swear a loyalty to another country. So in case a war broke out with we and Britain, him have the choice now if either fight for Jamaica or fight for Britain. And he might be more loyal to Britain and him end up kill we as Jamaican. One master, one passport, or else you leave Parliament. Simple.
All right. Tell me about the illicit six. I mean, we've been hearing about this from 2020, 2021 there about the illicit six. I mean, give me your raw thought on it, not holding back.
And the raw thought start with the big C, corruption. This is just a part of the corruption of the system. That the system was designed to protect the big man. We still don't have a democracy. Because if we had a democracy in Jamaica, then the illicit six would have been named already. But because of the ambiguity of how a law is constructed, it gives them these little loopholes that they can hide behind. So they are deceitful to the people up to today. How can you say you are loyal to your country, you're loyal, you take a vote to the Constitution, say you're going to uphold the Constitution, you know, and yet still you see when I break the law? It is just corruption from the top to the bottom. And this is why we need to change the Constitution, not reform it, you know. Because reform, that means you patch it up. We are going to change it. Different Constitution, different laws, different meaning to the old interpretation. Because right now it give them too much loophole for thief and hide behind the thief.
All right, lastly before you go, because I know you need to go. Tell me about the statutory declaration that Andrew Holness, our Prime Minister, well, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, still haven't declared. Past the deadline, we are past the deadline. I mean, the opposition did it. What's your thought on it?
Well, the first thing you have to look on, if this man is the head of the country, and this man is working under the Constitution, this man is a part of the framing of the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and he is breaking these same laws. That means he has no integrity whatsoever. He should have been the first person to ensure, lead by example. He should have been the first man to have put out his assets and let it be known. Say, listen, I have nothing to hide. These are my assets, these are what I have, and this is where it comes from. When you are hiding and procrastinating, that means you are upholding corruption. So if you, the head of the stream, do that, what the hell you think the people them down at the bottom going to do? This is why them thief bolt money out of SSL and you still can't find out what is happening. Thieving from the top to the bottom, and it has been legitimized. by the highest man in our country. Well, the second highest man, the Prime Minister. When you have a dirty head, you're going to have a dirty bottom. If the head of the stream dirty, as them say in all time proverb, the bottom of the stream going dirty. So this is why we have this problem. The Prime Minister should lead by example and declare his assets.
One love. Yes, you mean to tell me that all of the election them we had in Jamaica, the past election, all of them was illegal?
All of them illegal. If you take it to the Constitutional Court, it would be ruled null and void. Why? The representation of the People's Act is an act of Parliament. And that act, subsection 91, clearly states bribery is against the law before an election, during an election, and after election. If you even promise a man something, it is an act of bribery and it is against the law. And when you are taken before the court, that individual would be suspended from participating in any election for 7 years. 7 years. So when you see our politicians going around and giving t-shirts and cap and bangles and all these things, it is against the law.
But some say marketing, them a market them party. It shouldn't be done.
Marketing is totally different. Marketing is not a bribe. Marketing is when you have a product and you are selling that product to the consumer. This is an election and it is controlled by certain laws and regulation. And this is why under the representation of the People's Act, and it was done. It was done in Parliament by our lawmakers, passed in law.
But some people say if them not get no money, them simply not go vote. Some people make it plain and straight.
Well, this is because of the system that they have started, the corrupt system, I must stress. Corruption. Because, as I said, Marcus Garvey was more popular than his opponent in the election. But the opponent won because the opponent bought lots of rum and rice and peas and chicken and fed the people and drunk them off before the election. That's why them run and vote for him. That's why you hear that famous quote all the while, you know, them sell out Marcus Garvey for rice and peas. Yes, by law, subsection 91, and I want all of you listening or viewing, go and check the representation of the People's Act, subsection 91, which clearly defines bribery in an election, before an election or after election. It's against the law, plain and simple. So all our elections that you see these people have been having over the years are fraudulent. Fraudulent. And if it is taken to test before a constitutional court, it would be ruled null and void.
One love. Yes, you mean so racy. You really believe that every Jamaican can own a plot of land?
Yes.
Why you think so?
Yes, You see, what we have to do is to look at emancipation, what it meant. Emancipation means to free up the people, right? Now, how can you free up the so-called, because we not call we slave, our ancestors? Here, the so-called slave master, 20 million pounds, right? You compensate them, 20 million pounds. And the ancestors that did all of the work don't get no money, nothing at all. So where you going to live? You don't live nowhere. What we are looking at now is the land that they call Crown land. Crown land is the lands in Jamaica that is supposedly owned by the Crown. So the Crown pay the white man them 20 million pounds, right? And we not get nothing. And I just want to show you intergenerational how that money where them get. There was a white man named, I think, Rodney. His money, he used it for open up Barclays Bank. Barclays Bank today is what you see is NCB, the largest banking institution in Jamaica.
Okay.
Intergenerational wealth. Now from 1834 to now, it's intergenerational poverty. For we not own no land, well, just them call you squatter and things like that. What I am saying, The land that is known as Crown Land is the people's land. And it must be shared up. When we did our survey, Jamaica have 3.4 million acres of land. 1 acre land can give you 10 houses. So when you multiply it, it is 34 million housing units in a Jamaica. And we only have a population of 3 million.
Yeah.
So if you give every Jamaican a housing lot, you still have 31 million housing lot left. So this is the disservice that our government, those politicians that have formed our government, have done. And what they do, they keep a lot of these wealth to themselves. That is why they are such corrupt people.
Certain land you can't buy too.
This is it. Because they put certain price when you want to put people together. It's like what the white people doing in South Africa. There's a space in South Africa now that is only white people there. Because they raise the price of land so high that the average black man can't buy that land. So these are the things that we are going to overthrow when we change the constitution within the Republic Constitution that we are looking at. Every Jamaican must, and we're going to put must in a black capital, own a lot of land.
Wait, go on. No man, talk.
Well, as I say, when we're looking at wages and all these things, the topsy-turvy way they control wages, where there's no maximum wage, but there's a minimum wage. When I was at Air Jamaica, we looked at the government and told the government to sell us Air Jamaica. We, the staff, sell us Air Jamaica. They didn't do it. They went and sell Boots Stewart Air Jamaica for $1. $1.
Why?
And because, as I say, we have an oligarchy where the big man control the politician, and the politician allow the big man to make money. That is the system that we are under.
$1?
That is the system we are under. So when you realize that even as hard as you work, you will never make two ends meet.
Jesus
because
Christ.
of the system. When you look at intergenerational poverty, look at families. If you win lotto, your great-grandmother poor, your grandmother poor, your mother poor, and you going poor too. Because you're not getting the education to lift yourself out of the poverty.
But even with the education is still in the poverty.
You're still within the poverty. That is how it is stacked against you.